Good morning to all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Soon we will start the session. Chairperson is not now here. We are waiting for her. So please wait for some time.
Good morning, Sabia ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Actually, we are waiting for Sarla, ma'am.
Okay.
Sarla Sharma, ma'am. She will chair the session.
Okay, and Mehtab Rana sir will.
He is not now here.
Okay.
Dr. Anuradha, ma'am, is here. She will also co-chair the session.
Okay. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Now is the audio is available. Otherwise, there was no audio earlier.
No, we are waiting for ma'am, Sarla ma'am. She will be there in a few seconds.
Right. Right. Fine.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
मैम कहीं थी
Sorry.
Russian Bhasan was made. No, not Bu kendisi bağlısıyla BJP supporter.
Sorry for inconvenience. Chair will be there in few minutes.
One lakh 1,000. THANI, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and
Good morning to all. Anuradha ma'am, I welcome you to co-chair the session. Will you start the session? We are waiting for Sarla Sharma ma'am.
Okay, so what time is she joining?
Madam, she is telling that 2 or 3 minutes, but it takes so much time, and there will be another session after that. So till now we can start the session and at least count the number of papers or number of participants, how many are presenting the papers. So I will request you to please proceed the session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. So, very good morning to everybody who has joined today's session. In
Good
fact,
morning, ma'am.
I too had been waiting for Professor Sarla to join in, but there are many issues when it comes to the virtual platform. So, keeping in mind the time slot, I have been desired by the organizers to start the session. So, with the permission of the organizers, I
Sure.
take this opportunity of starting the session today, which is basically takes about the theme of people, peace, and prosperity of 21st century. This particular session is very important because in today's world, the people are actually not at peace. And of course, there is a break in the prosperity on economic front. Not only economic front, but also on health front too. So this becomes very important for us to theme in different shades. We have to think about this theme on an economic front, on the social front, and many other issues which will be coming up in this particular session. They have to be taken up very seriously to think about what can be done, what is happening in the different parts of the world as long as the peace and prosperity is concerned, and what suggestions and measures we can come down to that can help the present world in combating all the issues which are of course of utmost importance. So without taking much time, I would be requesting everybody who's here to join the session and to present the paper. I would like to know the number of presenters in today's session.
Ma'am, there are 19 participants in the list, but till now, how many are presenting? If,
Okay.
if you tell, I can tell you the name and the paper title. If you
All right. I'll just get back to the session. Can you kindly help me in naming?
I will send you the PDF, ma'am.
I think I have one. Yes, I've got it. So to begin with,
Lekha Bora and Dr.
yes, the first one is Dr. Lekha Bhora and Dr. Madhushri Das. The paper title is Understanding Fear of Crime in Women and Restricted Social Space. Is any of the presenter here for first paper?
Yes, ma'am, I'm present.
All right. Then number 2 is Dr. Mausumi Debarma. Is
Yes,
Dr. Mausumi present?
yes, I'm present. Yes.
All right. Number 3, Akhmatova A. Sultan Bekov K. The title is Political Regime and Manifestation of the Political Will of the Leader of the State. Is third participant present? Third presenter? Okay. Professor Sadhna Kothari is number 4. I think she will also be joining in, but not here right now. Number 5, Siddharth Kumar Gaurav. SK Gaurav, a geographical analysis of relationship between child sex ratio and male literacy in Rajasthan. Not present? Okay. Savita Devi, Nachita Kumari, and Preeti. And you?
Yes, ma'am.
So number 6, serial number 6.
Yes,
Number
ma'am.
Hari Prasad, the
Yes,
rising.
ma'am. I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay. Next is Latif Ahmed Hajam, Muhammad Imran Ganai, Farooq Ahmed Hajam, Dr. Javed Ahmed Rathar. Changing dimensions of population in MP, a geographical analysis. 8th presenter. Not here?
Ma'am, maybe
So shall we start on, because we
Karth
have
Kumar Gaurav is present. Okay.
Okay. Serial number?
Third, I think. Siddharth Kumar Gaurav. Child sex.
No, third is somebody else.
Maybe for few minutes he is.
No
Fifth
problem.
number.
I think
Fifth.
I think
Okay, maybe
without
fourth
waiting. So we
Fifth
have
number.
number 5.
Yes, Siddharth Kumar Gaurav. He is on fifth number.
Number 5 is, sorry, Siddharth Kumar Gaurav. Okay. So
He's
5
present.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, ma'am.
Number 8 is not present. Number 9 is Dr. Sunita Singh.
Yes, present. I'm present.
Okay. Serial number 10. A.K. Pathak and R.G. Jebhai.
Present, ma'am. A.K. Pathak.
Right. Number 11, Dr. Meeta Ravta Tiwari. Not here. Serial number 12, Shobhana Mukherjee, Dr. Saraswati Karketa. Not here. 13, Pratibha Tomar.
Yes, ma'am. I'm present.
Pratibha is here, right? So next is
Yes, ma'am.
14, E. Grace Salvarani and Dr. P. Sujata. 15th, Fetal Rehmati and Professor A.V. Shashikala. 16th is Suraj Pal.
Yes, ma'am, I'm present.
Okay. 7th,
She will join at 10:30, ma'am. She will be there.
Okay, fine. 18 is Jatendra Kumar Verma, Dr. Gopi Chand Paliwal. And 19 is Lakshmi Narayan Meena. Is the 19th presenter here? So in total, we have 9 presenters in the on this platform, and we have about say 10:30 to 10 to 11:30. So it's already 10:17. So I think not more than 8 minutes will be given. Not 8 minutes also. I think 6 minutes. So we start with the first presenter, Dr. Lekha Bora and Dr. Madhushri Das.
Yes,
The
yes.
paper's title is Understanding Fear of Crime in Women and Restrictive Social Space. So I invite the first speaker to start the presentation, and please try to stick to the time so that the other presenters also get the adequate time slot.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, one and everyone present here. I am Dr. Lekha Bora, and I am presenting my paper on the title Understanding of Fear of Crime and Restrictive Social Space. Ma'am, I'll be sharing my screen now.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, ma'am, I'm starting my presentation.
Stop sharing.
So the very paper Understanding Fear of Crime in Women and Restrictive Social Space is based on my study in the state of Assam. So, women's security, as I have said, that women's security has been one of the major concern in recent time. The concern arises because of the increasing number of reported cases in official statistics. But if I look around, official statistics is just a number, but the kind of impact that this reported statistics has on women is only behavioral consequences, and on the basis of this behavioral consequences we can say that there is restrictive social space which uh, which is very much present in today's time. And uh, this reported incidents and also the kind of harassment which the women are facing in recent time leads to fear in women. Now, crime against women has been researched on various dimensions. This paper is just an uh, offbeat track of crime against women, and I am trying to study on the fear of crime against women. Now, when I say about fear of crime against women, it's very subjective because it differs from person to person. Now, fear of crime always occurs in both the sexes, but why women crime, fear of crime in women is much higher because the kind of fear from which women fears are mostly subjected to physical violence, whereas there is difference in the crime which is faced by the male sex. Now, Assam and Northeast India has been known to be a gender-friendly state from earlier times, but recent cases of dowry and bride burning has been an exception from the rest of the country because it has led to us thinking that crime against women has been impacted in the lives of women on a very large scale. Now, this is my study area. On the basis of the study area, various quantitative survey has been done, but I feel that quantitative survey needs to be complemented with the qualitative methods in order to know the socio-psychological background that leads to behavioral changes on women on the basis of the fear, not exactly the actual occurrence of crime on women. This study is based on both primary and secondary data. The primary data has been collected from a sample of 255 participants on the ratio of 80 is to 20, 80% female participants and 20% male participants. And it has been done on the basis of three methods, that is questionnaire survey, interviews, and focus group discussion, and also various secondary methods has been discussed, taken into consideration. Now, from the viewpoint of a geographer, it has been known that the way women move is as a result of women behavioral choices, but from the social reality it can be seen that it's mere a behavioral women individual behavioral choices, but it is a force mechanism that makes women to take the choices according to the threat which she experiences in her day-to-day life. Now, the threat which the woman feels might not be a heinous crime like a rape, but very simple. We face regular kind of harassment like some form of lewd comments, inappropriate touch, inappropriate glances, which leads to kind of culminating a behavior which makes women adopt a appropriate code of behavior like a proper dressing style or a proper timing to go out of their houses. Now, merely understanding of the safe and dangerous spaces, now on the basis of the fear, women categorizes an area into safe and unsafe zones. Now, these safe and unsafe zones are as a result of the social and cultural processes that takes place in an area, and also that leads to spatial connotation of an area. On the basis of the space, safe and unsafe zone, women makes a mind map in their minds, and this mind map may differ from person to person, and on the basis of the experiences which women had from their day-to-day lives. Social norms and traditions to a very large extent leads to um, uh, strengthen the idea of fear, because whenever a crime happens or whenever women report of such an fear, it's always being seen that women are historically reporting such fear, but it's not historically overreacting. But women face some kind of discomfort or some kind of harassment, might not be a very heinous one, but they face at regular level. Now, before starting the fear of crime, it becomes necessary to know what exactly is fear of crime. Firstly, the very concept of fear is formed by the knowledge of reported crime. Secondly, the media reports to create a sense of discomfort on women regarding the places which they needs to visit and which they need to avoid. Moreover, women are also generally thought to be they cannot respond to a higher threat or greater threat at a public place, so that also leads to a kind of fear in women. Now if I look into the categories of fear that women fear, the most of the cases are mostly eve teasing and sexual harassment, whereas the cases are this is on the basis of primary survey. The fear regarding the theft, dacoity are generally less. And among the insecure, among the unsafe areas, which generally the respondents fear that those areas are generally unsafe, the highest is the areas of some local dons, that is mostly very congested local areas. And among the insecure areas which women feel fear are mostly isolated areas, generally not having any street lights or generally away from their neighborhood. And bus stand and lifts are also having substantial proportion of fear among women. And it's not that women fear only during day or only during night. The kind of fear and the amount of fear is there in almost the entire part of the day. However, as night falls, the percentage or the proportion of fear that women feels increases, as because during the night it is easier for an culprit to escape the crime location by causing harm to the woman. Now it is generally seen that from the young people, it is generally believed that from the young people, women are most threatened group. But from my study, it has been found out it is from the middle-aged person that women are more fearful and they feel harassed mostly from the middle-aged persons. Now this perception of fear, it's mostly varies from age, sex, gender and level of education, because along with age and level of education comes our standard of living. A higher standard of living always gives us the opportunity to somehow avoid certain situations and take, for example, you can take private vehicles if you have a higher standard of livings. But mainly for the lower standard of living, people who are from the lower economic background, they are forced into such a situation that even though they feel fear or even though they are not comfortable to go in that area, they are forced because of their economic situations to a vulnerable society. Use of public spaces has never been a luxury or leisure activity for women, because they merely used it as a transaction point between their home and their working place. Because generally it is being found that the more they loiter around public spaces, the more fear they feel from then unknown strangers, or mainly or maybe from their known persons also. Now, this fear is not created in vacuum. It is operationalized in the affective, cognitive, and behavioral domain of mind. This behavioral domain of mind has been leading to create mental maps on the basis of their past experiences and also from hearing the frightening experiences from their near and dear ones. Further, it can be said that on the basis of this fear, women try to adopt certain defense mechanism in order to avoid
Please
such.
conclude your paper, please.
Okay, man. Just give me 1 minute time. I'm concluding. Now, on the basis of frequency, it's not that they face harassment every day. On the basis of this, we can see that only the daily harassment is very less. And okay, now these are the various defense mechanisms that are preferred by women. However, these defense mechanisms might differ as we go to a higher income group. But even though we go to a higher income group who can use private vehicles, they also choose to opt for various defense mechanism, even using a private vehicle. And from this, we can see that fear of crime has restrict women mobility and access, hence giving oppressor more control of public spaces. And secondly, this fear restricts the use of public spaces for them. This has impacted the entire life of women, as they have taken the social control of their entire lives. Now, with this, I conclude my paper. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lekha. A very
Thank you.
interesting presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'd like to request the participants to please stick to the time which has been given, which is 6 minutes. And with that, I think whatever the discussion will have to take place, let us take it in the end, because now let the papers be presented and hear the opinions of the different presenters. With that, I invite the second presenter, Dr. Maushami Devarama. Please start your presentation. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
I'm just sharing my PPT. Good morning to one and all. My title of my paper presentation is Special Distribution of Scheduled Tribes in Tripura. So the distribution of population not only reveals the relationship between population and resource, but also reveals the relationship between population groups. And it also reveals the special organization, special segregation and power structure in the society. So distribution of population, especially in peripheral location and accompanied with low political and economic power of that group, can lead the group to be more marginalized and be socially excluded. I have two main objectives. Examine the patterns of special distribution of tribes with reference patterns of special distribution of individual tribes with reference to Boroks and non-tribes. The analysis is based on the census data 2011, language table 2001, and Hallam tribe data 2007. And I have used two important techniques. The first technique is percentage share. The percentage share of tribes is the percentage of tribes in a particular area or administrative unit out of the total population in the same administrative unit. This technique help us to have an understanding in the share of the scheduled tribes or the individual tribes or the non-scheduled tribes population and the distribution in Tripura. The second technique used here is concentration index. This concentration index is used to see the share of the scheduled tribes in a particular administrative unit out of the total scheduled tribe population in Tripura. And this technique helps us to have an understanding about the concentration and dispersion of scheduled tribes or individual tribes or non-scheduled tribes in Tripura. Next is my results and discussion. From the figure number 1, it's very clear that as per 2011 census data, population of Tripura can be broadly divided into, it consists of minority scheduled tribes comprising of 32% and the majority immigrant non-scheduled tribes comprising of 68%. Next, we'll go to the special distribution of population in Tripura. Actually, this particular discussion is based on my first objective, that is to examine the patterns of special distribution of tribes with reference to non-tribes. Here, from the table 1 and table 2, it's very clear that physiography is the most compelling factor of population distribution in Tripura, and concentration of about 60% of the state's population, who are overwhelmingly the non-tribes. They are concentrated in only about 40% of the state's plain areas, which suggests larger settlement size and crowding in plains characterized by high carrying capacity and also proximity with the international border. Whereas we find that around 39% of the tribes, they have been increasingly squeezed into 60% of the state's hilly interiors characterized by lower density. And from here, you can see that this particular map I have divided into 3 belts. That is the dark blue, which is represented by the scheduled tribes, the light blue represented by mixed belts where both scheduled tribes and non-scheduled tribes are residing, and the beige color represents a non-scheduled tribe. Actually, this is almost same. I've just classified this based on the percentage share of tribes and non-tribes into another map. So we can see here this the light blue color ethnically mixed belts, which is consisting of both scheduled tribes and non-scheduled tribes. They are actually located in the middle course of the rivers. This belt, this particular mixed belt, acts as a buffer zone between the ethnically exclusive areas of the scheduled tribes and the non-tribes in the plain areas. Next is I'll be discussing on the this the second objective, that is to examine the patterns of special distribution of individuals, tribes with reference to the Boroks and non-tribes. So before I go into the discussion of the tribes, I just want to give a slight definition on Boroks. Boroks, they comprise of 8 tribes. The common characteristics of the Boroks is that they all speak Kogrok language. So from the table, it's very clear that as per the government notification, there are 19 tribes presently living in Tripura, and the scheduled tribes comprise of both indigenous as well as migrant scheduled tribe groups. So as per the Human Development Report, Tripura 2007, they have classified the tribes of Tripura into 6 categories. The first category is Tripura tribes, second is Chittagong Hill tribes, third, Central Indian tribes, fourth is Assam tribes, fifth is Northern Frontier tribes, and the sixth is unspecified. So from this figure, it's very clear that, as well as from this table, it's very clear that the Tripura tribes is overwhelmingly, in terms of numerical dominance, they're the highest. And within this Tripura tribes, we find that the Boroks, they constitute around 92%, and other tribes which are belonging to Tripura tribes are Halam, Kuki, and Chaimal, and they represent less than 6% within the total scheduled population of Tripura, and less than 8% out of the total Tripura tribes. And the next is, so from this figure, it's very clear that the non-Borok tribes, they have a clear marginal presence, though we find that the Chittagong Hill tribes have a substantial presence, accounting for over a tenth of all tribes in Tripura. And the Central Indian tribes are a little over 2%. And the next two categories, that is Assam tribe and Northern Frontier tribes, they have a very negligible presence. So the distribution of tribes in Tripura throws a light in the history of migration routes taken by the tribes. So as from this map, it's very clear that the Tripura tribes in general and the Boroks in particular, they're the most numerous in terms of population size. And they're widely distributed, and the presence is felt in all the blocks, whereas other tribes groups are mostly concentrated in the routes of their entry, mostly where in the periphery of the state. And here, this is the map of the Borok, that is the Kogrok speakers. At the block level, the Boroks, they are highly concentrated in Dosda, Amorpur, and Chirania. Why? Because as I have already mentioned, that the Boroks are comprising of 8 tribes. So since it is comprised of several tribes, each tribe have their own areas of concentration. So like the, yes, ma'am.
Kind of.
Yes, okay. So, so just like the Boroks, the Halam tribes, they're also fragmented. And Kukis, Garos, Mizo, Chakma, they have their own areas of concentration, which are, if you can see the map, which are mostly located in the periphery of the state. This is the concentration of the Central Indian tribes. They are located in those areas where tea estates and bricklaying industries are found. So I would like to conclude
your
that.
paper. Please, Mosmi, conclude your paper.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm concluding. So we can say that finally the Boroks, they are more specially or marginalized as compared to the other tribes. Why? Because you can find the concentration of other tribes are found in the non-ST belt and mixed belts, which are mostly plain areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My presentation is over.
Thank you, Mosami. Now, request Harth Kumar Gaurav to speak on the topic geographical analysis of relationship between child sex ratio and male literacy in Rajasthan.
Yes, ma'am.
And please just cover up your objectives, the methodology, and the main findings.
Okay, ma'am. Myself, Siddharth Kumar Gaurav. I present my paper titled A Geographical Analysis of Relationship between Child Sex Ratio and Male Literacy Rate in Rajasthan. Study area. Rajasthan state of the study area. Objective of the study. The major objective of this study are as under: to study the spatial pattern and distribution of child sex ratio in Rajasthan, to study the spatial pattern and distribution of male literacy in Rajasthan, or to analyze the relationship between child sex ratio and male literacy in Rajasthan. Database and methodology. This study is based on secondary source of data. All relevant data are collected from Census of India 2011. The two variables, child sex ratio and male literacy rate of Rajasthan, have been selected for the analysis of correlation. SPSS and Spearman's rank correlation coefficients method is used for analysis the correlation between child sex ratio and male literacy rate. The following formula has been used: R is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma t square upon n cube minus 1, where D is difference between ranks of two variables, n is equal to number of observations. This slide shows special distribution and pattern of the child sex ratio and male literacy rate in Rajasthan state. Correlation. The results show that the correlation between child sex ratio and male literacy rate in Rajasthan is minus 0.99. It means there is a very strong negative correlation between the child sex ratio and male literacy rate. Analysis show that there is an inverse relationship and both are moved in opposite direction. The increase of male literacy rate reflects decline in child sex ratio. The diagram and table show that correlation between child sex ratio and male literacy rate. Conclusion: the data is so that reflects inverse relationship among child sex ratio and male literacy rate in all district of Rajasthan. It is concludes that the increase in the level of male literacy rate has failed increase the child sex ratio in Rajasthan. Third, it is clear that only increase in literacy is not enough to improve the status of women, gender discrimination, and child sex ratio in men-dominated society. But positive thinking towards women of the people also should be improved. The decline of child sex ratio is a dangerous indicator of gender inequality in present child population and future population, and the defy in child sex ratios reflects to serious demographic imbalance in the state. Therefore, keeping is view, this approach, future plans and social development program should be formulated and implemented in order to improve gender inequality and status of women in society. The sun preference, social bias, and male-dominate social structure is not only responsible for this situation of child sex ratio, but also large number of illegal sex selective diagnostic tests and girls infanticide and many causes are responsible for it. So government should be need stop misuse of modern medical technology for the reduction of child sex ratio. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddharth. Next, I would like to request Savita Devi or Nachita Kumari or Preeti, one of them, to please present their
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Wait.
Present.
Ma'am, it's visible. Hello.
Yeah, it's visible. Start your presentation. Start.
Okay. I'm Nachita here, and my topic is an analysis of population growth, environment degradation, and human health in India. I'm come on the objective directly. My objective, two main objective: to study the pattern of population growth and to study the pattern of effect of environmental degradation on health in India. This study is study area. India is a country of South Asia. It is the seventh largest country by area, the second most populous country with over 1.2 billion people, and the most populous democracy in the world. India lies in the north of the equator between 6 degree 44 minute and 35 degree 30 minute north latitude and 68 degree 7 minute to 97 degree 25 east longitude. The literacy rate in 2011 was 74.04% and 6.46% among female and 82.14% among males. Kerala is the most literate state with 93.91 literacy, while Bihar the least with 63.82%. Database and methodology, demographic data, and these indicators I have used in this study: total population in the world, total population of India, trend of urbanization, and pattern of urban agglomeration, prevalence of diarrhea, infant mortality rate. These data shows as you shown in the PPT. Like census of India, UN World Population, UN World Population Prospects, and World Population Data Sheet 2012 to 2013 and 14, Washington DC, and I have used in the study DLHS 1, 2nd, and 3rd, 4th data, yearly data. And demographic data related to tuberculosis means TB. It's get from NFHS 1, National Family Health Survey, IIPS Mumbai in 1992 to 1993. NFHS 3 reports, National Family Health Survey, ये लिए मैम मैंने 2004 to 5. एंड इकोनॉमिक फर्टिलाइजर कंजप्शन इसमें मैम लिया है एग्रीकल्चर स्टैटिक्स एट द ग्लांस, ये रिपोर्ट मैंने यहाँ से उठाई है. एंड एयर क्वालिटी के लिए मैंने जो डेटा सोर्स रहेगा मेरा वो सेंट्रल पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड से मैंने डेटा कलेक्ट किया है. फैक्टर ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल डिग्रेडेशन, देयर आर बेसिकली 2 फैक्टर, नेमली natural factors such as drought, storms on sea, land, and deserts, as hurricane, tornado, Karina, and volcanic eruptions. These factor leads to land degradation through erosion. Human factor including deforestations, population growth, intensifications of the agriculture, industrialization, and urbanizations. These factors lead to the water, air, and land pollution. These figures shows the trend of world population and trend of population in the world. अगर हम देखें कि ट्रेंड ऑफ वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन का क्या रहा है कि 1600 से AD से 2011 तक हम बात करें तो ये स्लाइटली क्या कर रहा है, इंक्रीज हो रहा है. और आफ्टर 1971 के बाद ये रैपिडली इंक्रीज हो रही है. If we talk about 1600 to 1971 AD, the population increased slightly. And after that, we talk about 1971 to 2011, the population increased rapidly. If इसी टाइप से अगर हम इंडियन पॉपुलेशन की बात करते हैं तो 1650 से और 1970 तक बात करते हैं तो जो पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज हो रही है वो स्लाइटली हो रही है, और उसके बाद 1970 टू 2014 तक पॉपुलेशन है वो रैपिडली इंक्रीज हो रही है. आफ्टर दैट हम ये देखेंगे कि जो अर्बन ट्रेंड ऑफ अर्बनाइजेशन है इंडिया में, उसका ट्रेंड ऑफ अर्बनाइजेशन देखेंगे एंड पैटर्न ऑफ अर्बन एग्लोमरेशन देखेंगे. टाइम पीरियड रहेगा हमारा 1901 से 2011 के मिड में. जो 1901 से लेके 1901 से 1931 तक जो अर्बनाइजेशन ट्रेंड है वो ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर है, बट जैसे ही हम 1931 से बात करते तो स्लाइटली इंक्रीज होना स्टार्ट हो जाता है, और 2011 में ये 31.16% है. अब बात करेंगे पैटर्न ऑफ अर्बन एग्लोमरेशन. जो पैटर्न है अर्बन एग्लोमरेशन का, तो हम देखेंगे कि 1941 तक जो अर्बन एग्लोमरेशन है उसका पैटर्न ऑलमोस्ट सेम है, सिमिलर है, बट इन 1951 में जो अर्बन एग्लोमरेशन है वो इंक्रीज हो जाता है, स्लाइटली इंक्रीज होता है, एंड फिर 1961 में दोबारा से ये क्या होता है, स्लाइटली डिक्रीज हो जाता है. आफ्टर दैट अगर हम बात करें 1981 से, तो ये रैपिडली इंक्रीज हो रहा है 1981 टू 2011. यूज ऑफ केमिकल कंजप्शन ऑफ फर्टिलिटी. अब हम देखते हैं कि जो टोटल फर्टिलिटी है, कंजप्शन ऑफ फर्टिलिटी है, वो ऑलमोस्ट इन 2010 एंड 11 में सबसे ज्यादा है. 10 एंड 11 एंड 11 एंड 12 में सबसे ज्यादा है, और जो 1991 में क्या है ये कम है. और इसके बाद हम मैम देखेंगे कि जो पोटासिक है उसका यूज सबसे कम हो रखा है. जो अदर फर्टिलाइजर है उनके कंपेयर में पोटासिक का यूज कम हो रखा है इन सभी ईयर में, 1991 से 2011-12 तक. फिर एम्बियंट एयर क्वालिटी इन मेट्रो सिटीज. इन मेट्रो सिटीज में हमने अहमदाबाद, बेंगलोर, चेन्नई, दिल्ली, हैदराबाद, कोलकाता एंड मुंबई को ले रखा है. और जो दिल्ली में है यहाँ पे ये सबसे हाई है. यहाँ पर इसमें जो सस्पेंडेड पार्टिकुलेट मैटर्स है, इसकी जो मात्रा क्वांटिटी है वो सबसे ज्यादा है दिल्ली में. उसके बाद जो हैदराबाद, कोलकाता है इसमें लगभग सिमिलर है, एंड चेन्नई में सबसे कम है. सोइल इरोजन एंड लैंड डिग्रेडेशन. मैम ये आप इस टेबल में देख सकते हो. and disease caused by environmental degradations. वाटर पोल्यूशन से इसमें ये एलिमेंट होते हैं एरोसेनिक, कैडमियम, लेड, जिंक, कॉपर, मर्करी एंड कैंडीज. एंड इसका हेल्थ के ऊपर क्या इफेक्ट होता है, डिजीज रिलेटेड टू इंटेस्टाइन. एंड एयर पोल्यूशन से क्या, क्रोनिकल कफ होता है, लंग कैंसर, इसका इफेक्ट हमारी हेल्थ पे होता है. और ऐसे ही सॉइल पोल्यूशन का क्या है कि एंटर थ्रू फूड साइकिल एंड अफेक्ट एडवर्सली. नॉइस पोल्यूशन का हेयरिंग पावर है हमारी, वो इफेक्ट होती है. फ्रैग्यू लीड्स टू डीफनेस, हेडेक, इंक्रीज इन द बीपी और रेस्टलेसनेस. ऐसे ही रेडियो एक्टिव का होता है, इसमें लाइक कैंसर हो गया और फ्यूटल इफेक्ट्स हो गया, क्रोमोसोम्स एंड जेनेटिक्स. अब मैम हम बात करेंगे ट्रेंड ऑफ इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी इन इंडिया 1998 टू 2013. तो इसमें मैम देख रहे हैं कि जो इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट है वो क्या हो रहा है, डिक्रीज हो रहा है हमारा. अगर हम देखेंगे बात करते हैं हम 1998 की, तो उसमें क्या है, जो इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट है हम कहीं पे भी ऑल ओवर द इंडिया किसी भी स्टेट की बात कर लो, बट जो केरला है हमने देखा था कि यहाँ का जो लिटरेसी रेट है वो भी काफी कम है। और इसके अलावा जो हम यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं 1998 से लेके और 2013 तक यहाँ पे इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट स्टार्टिंग से ही
I
काफी
think you
कम।
should wind off, Nachita. Please wind off.
ओके मैम।
Please wind off.
हेलो
Hello.
मैम, आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी क्लियरली।
I said please
Sir.
wind off. Please wind off.
ओके मैम। मैम, ट्रेंड ऑफ डायरिया प्रिविलेंस अमंग चिल्ड्रन, जो डायरिया का प्रिविलेंस है चिल्ड्रन में 0 to 5 ईयर, इसमें हम बात करेंगे कि 1997 टू 2012 एंड 13 तक हम बात करते हैं। तो इसमें जो प्रिविलेंस है वो 1997 से और 2012-13 तक क्या हो रहा है, डिक्रीज हो रहा है हर स्टेट में।
But it's okay now. I think you have taken a lot of time. So any last line if you want to say, just one line.
Okay. India is the
One line.
second. Okay. India is the second most populous country in the world after China. India sports 16.87% of the world population on its 2.4% world surface area. It is at the time of independence, country population was 342 million. The country population size has grown from 361 million in 1951 to 121 million in 2011. Total population of
I now please thank you so much, Nachita. I now invite the next speaker, Hari Prasad, who has to speak on the rising threat of human trafficking during a natural disaster scenario.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Start. Yeah. Please start.
Ma'am, I cannot share the screen, ma'am.
Organizers, please help him.
जस्ट वेट मैम प्लीज। क्या हुआ? ये एक बार स्क्रीन एक बार इनकी शेयर नहीं हो रही है।
Yes, what happened?
Sir, there's a message. You cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
Okay.
Yeah, Nachita has to quit
Now
off.
you can share. Now you share.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, sir.
अच्छा, उसने नचिता ने बंद नहीं की थी ना अभी।
Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, very clear.
Is it visible now, sir? The PPT?
Yeah, it is.
So, good morning to one and all. My topic is the rising threat of human trafficking during a natural disaster scenario. So, what is the first page shows the relationship between natural disaster and human trafficking. So, we can consider the natural disasters and human trafficking as correlated events. According to international police or Interpol, disasters expose population to trafficking due to sudden loss and disruption. And this warning showcased the interlinkage of between natural disasters and human trafficking. So there are different phases for the natural disasters: the natural disaster phase and the post-disaster phase. So during the post-disaster phase, the people are highly susceptible to human trafficking, and this is due to the following factors: the insecurity of the people due to the natural disasters, which cause them to have economic instability and the social instability, then situational vulnerability caused by the natural disasters, and misuse of technological innovations like social media to lure people, and large demand for people for reconstruction activities, and less attention given by authorities and other governmental organizations. So my aims and objectives are to assess the correlation between natural disasters and rising incidences of human trafficking, to pinpoint the major solutions that can be done to reduce the rising human trafficking incidences during a natural disaster. My study area is taken as a whole world. And the data and methods I have used are, the data is collected mainly from secondary data sources like research publications, governmental and non-governmental reports, and their respective computer websites. The methodology used to conduct the study mainly contains the analysis of various case studies of human trafficking that occurred during the natural disaster scenarios, and using this relationship to identify the linkage between natural disasters and human trafficking. And the method I have used is a case study analysis. And in this, I have used 5 case studies, and they are classified into 5 sections. The type of natural disaster happened, place affected by natural disasters, persons trafficked, nationalities of trafficked persons, and the type of trafficking happened. So this is my case study analysis report. And the case study analysis of these 5 incidences shows that there's a positive correlation between natural disasters and human traffic incidences. The analysis of the data showed that the persons trafficked are more from Southeast Asia and can be attributed to certain socio-economic and cultural factors. The analysis also shows that the majority trafficked are the children, and a major type of trafficking is child trafficking. So according to IPCC 2012, the frequency of natural disasters has increased due to several factors, including population growth, economic development, and a changing climate, which can lead to variations in the frequency, intensity, spatial range, duration, and timing of weather and climate extremes. And as the frequency and intensity of natural disasters increase, the rising threat of human trafficking looms over the world nations due to the vulnerability created during different phases of natural disasters, especially the post-disaster phase. So my recommendations to control this human trafficking during the natural disaster scenarios are the strict implementation laws and regulations against human trafficking. Effective training should be given to both governmental and non-governmental stakeholders to effectively handle the disaster situations, creating awareness among the people of how to help them protect against traffickers. The disaster management plan should involve contingency plans for countering human trafficking. My conclusion: the coming years are becoming more and more disaster prone due to climate change and global warming, and can lead to an increase in the frequency and intensity of natural disasters. The world nation should be able to address the rising challenges against human security, especially human trafficking. The effective disaster management coupled with counteraction against human security challenges should be a priority for world governments. So these are my references. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Hari Prasad. You have concluded very well in time. I congratulate you. And with that, I invite the next speaker, Latif Ahmed, Hajam, Mohammad Imran Ganai, Farooq Ahmed, or Dr. Javed Ahmed Rathar on changing dimensions of population in Madhya Pradesh,
Yes,
a geographical analysis.
Yes, ma'am, we are present.
Okay, fine. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, we are sharing screen. We are sharing screen.
Sure, sure.
Ma'am, am I visible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I am Latif Ahmed, and my topic of today's presentation is changing dimensions of population in Madhya Pradesh, a geographical analysis. With me are other co-authors Imran, Feroz Ahmed, and my research guide, Dr. Javed Ahmed. Study area. My study area is Madhya Pradesh, which is heartland of heart of India, centermost part of India, and it is a longitudinal and long. State has more than 7 crore population and 3 lakh male population and more than 3 crore female population, and comprising 6% of India's total population. The decadal growth rate of the state is 20.3% in 2011, which is higher by 2.7% of the national average. Ma'am, my methodology for the study is and the data source I have collected from Census of India, that is the Directorate of Census, Madhya Pradesh, data collected from 1951 to 2011. And the techniques used for the study are percentage analysis, which is corresponding value upon total value into 100. And decadal change is shown by the change in the population is shown by decadal change method, which is the initial value minus past value. And the decadal growth rate is also involved in the study, which is and the base year population and the past year population divided by base year population into 100. And the data I have shown, I have presented by bar graph, line graph, and tables. And the objectives of the study are to examine the change in the population in the study area as a district as well as whole Madhya and urban population. Besides, I have examined the changes by decadal growth rates, as earlier said, percentage change and decadal change. Coming to the results and discussions, as seen on this graph, is that the population is increasing from 1951 to 2011. The total population is increasing. The rural population, urban population, and male and female population, rural male and rural female population, all the dimensions of the populations are increasing from 1951 to 2011 in the study area. Ma'am, the total population has increased from 186,1493 persons in 1951 to 7259756% in 2011. This shows that the population is increasing from 1951 to 2011 in the study area. The urban population is also visible, increasing from 1951 to 2011. In the same way, the male population and the female populations also increasing in the study area, as visible in the slide. When the patterns of the population in Madhya Pradesh in percentage from 1951 to 2011 is shown. This is shown that the population of Madhya Pradesh to the total population of India from 1951 to 2011 is shown that in 1951 the population of Madhya Pradesh as compared to other states with the India is 5.16%, and in 2011 it has risen to 6.00, which shows the increasing growth from 15.6 to 6.00. In the same way, the rural population is showing decreasing trend from 85.13% to in 1951 to 72.64% in 2011. So we can find that the urban population is increasing from 1951 to 2011, and the male population has shown some increase till 1991 and then decreased from 1991 to 2011. In the same way, the rural population has shown growth in 1951 and then decreased to 2011, which is recorded in 2011, 72.16%. In the same way, the urban population is also increasing. It has shown as increased growth from 1951 to 2011. In the same way, the female population has shown downfall in the growth rate, that is 84.58% in 1951 to 48.19% in 2011. In the same way, the rural population is also showing decrease, and the urban population is showing increase with highest growth in 27.41% in 2011. The another slide is showing the change in the patterns of population in the Madhya Pradesh. That is the first one in the figure. We see the persons of the rural population, the total population, that is in 1951 the change is 0.13%, and in 2011 it is 0.13%. That is, we find that in percentage there is not much more increase or decrease in the total population of the Madhya Pradesh. When we come to the rural population of the state, we find that minus 1.77% in 1951 to 1661. And this graph shows whether the population is increasing or decreasing in the percentage from one decade to another decade. We find that the urban population has shown increase while the rural population has shown decrease.
Please conclude your paper.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. The decadal growth rate is showing highest in 1971 to 81, that is 52.92%. In the same way, the lowest decadal growth rates are shown in 2001 and 2011. Now coming to the conclusion, the table reveals that most of the districts of Madhya Pradesh like Raisen, Indore, Nisambar, Gavalia, Datia, Morena, etc. have shown decline rate of population from 2001 to 2011. Also reveals the shift of population increase in many rural rural districts of Madhya Pradesh, such as Bahranpur, Anuppur, Shahdol, Singrauli. The table also presents the shift of urban population in Madhya Pradesh. It depicts that the shift of population has also increased during the same period. Some of the districts which have shown increased shift of population are Raisin, Indore, Nishambapur, Datia, Gwalior, Ratlam, Pana, etc. This is the table which is showing change in the population. When we conclude this slide, we see that the declining rural population in 2001 to 2011 are in Morena, Gwalior, Datia, Dar, Indore, Nishambapur, Mandla, whereas there is increase in the male population in 2001 to 2011 is Burhanpur, Shahdol, Singrauli, etc. On the other hand, districts recorded decline in urban male population are Burhanpur, Singrauli, Shahdol, whereas there is record of decrease in the population in Morena, Gwalior, Datia, Dar, Indore, Raisin, etc. This figure shows also the change in the population of urban female and rural female. When we conclude this slide, we find that the Burhanpur, Anuppur, Shahdol, Singrauli has shown increase in the population, whereas Raisin, Indore, Morena, Gwalior, Daitya, Mundesar are declining in population. On the other hand, urban female population recorded increase in the districts of Raisin, Mindor, Daitya, Gwalior, Mandusar, Dar, etc., while as decrease in the districts such as Burhanpur, Anuppur, Singrauli, Shahdol from 2001 to 2011 in the Madhya Pradesh. While concluding, after analyzing the percentage of rural urban population, Madhya Pradesh from
Thank you, Latif.
1951 to 2011.
Latif, you need
Thank
to
you,
stop
ma'am.
here because we have the next presenter with
Okay.
us. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Now
ma'am.
I invite Dr. Sunita Singh to speak on the concept of world and man in geography and spirituality, comparative analysis. Sunita Singh, please go ahead.
Yes, I am presenting. Good morning, everybody.
He has to end the sharing.
Yeah.
He has to end the sharing. Can the current presenter end the sharing so that we can begin?
He has not added the sharing.
Screen sharing.
Yeah, I'm going to share the screen, but there is some problem. Good morning, everybody. The title of my paper is The Concept of World and Man in Geography and Spirituality, a Comparative Analysis. Friends, there are two types of world in the creation called Srishti. One is external world and the other one is internal world. The external world is constituted by all the physical and human elements which can apparently be seen with eyes, and the description of these elements are studied in geography, while the knowledge or learning about the internal world is the matter of spirituality. First of all, I would like to discuss about the concept of world and man in geography. The nature of geography has always been changing according to the needs of people, time, and society. A number of geographers have defined geography in terms of man-nature interaction, human ecology, spatial organization, science of synthesis, welfare science, and systematic analysis, etc. All these viewpoints about geography reveal that geography is an organized knowledge of the earth as a world of man. It is the study of wholeness and bears the holistic approach in which the various phenomena of the world, for example, topography, soils, vegetation, minerals, animals, population, agriculture, industry, trade and commerce, transport, etc., are described basically in terms of space, time, and relations. The holistic nature of geography has been explained by Professor R.L. Singh through set theory diagram, in which he assumes that the whole knowledge of human life is A, capital A. There are four sets of knowledge, that is A1, A2, A3, and A4. As shown by four circles, as you can see on the screen, there are four circles. And these circles, A1 is shown as geosciences, A2 is biosciences, A3 is physical sciences, and A4 is social sciences. And each circle is overlapping with other circles involving new areas of knowledge, that is small a, B, C, and D. You can see in the screen A, B, C, and D. Small a is equal to geophysics overlap geosciences overlap biosciences, that is geobotany, a new field of study. And small b is geoscience overlap physical sciences, that is equal to geophysics. And C is biosciences overlap social sciences, that is social biology, and small d is physical sciences overlap social sciences, that is science of civilization. And geography is equal to A1 overlap A2 overlap A3 overlap A4. It means geography has a key and central position among all the sets of knowledge about world and man, and uh, studies the wholeness, that is samagrata, and that is the reason that it is known as mother of all sciences, as said by Smith. Now I would like to explain the concept of world and man in spirituality. First of all, we should know what does spirituality mean. In fact, living life as joy and ease is the general meaning of spirituality. It is a very pleasant state of our being, seeing that there is one big mind among all the human beings, animals, and all the life forms in the world. In spirituality, there are 4 types of world and 5 categories of man have been mentioned. 4 types of world are, as you can see on the screen, there are 4 types of world mentioned in spirituality. They are mineral world, vegetable world, animal world, and human world. Mineral world means don't have any life, no awareness, no conscious power. Vegetable world, vegetation grow and move, but only in one dimension. They have life. Animal world, they have higher state of evolution. They travel great distances. And human world, humans are the most evolved, aware, and conscious living beings. They have supreme powers and have command over time, space, and direction. Leibniz, a German philosopher, says that life on earth has 3 dimensions. Life sleeps in plants, dreams in animals, and wakes in man. Next. There are 5 categories of man in spirituality based on the degree of their self-centeredness or selfishness. This is very interesting to know. 5 types of people are there in this world. First is mineral world, mineral man, most selfish beings concerned only with their own needs and greeds. Vegetable man, basically selfish, but their selfishness is not concentrated on their body only. They care for the family, kith and kin too. They are superior to the selfish mineral man. Third is animal man, superior to the previous ones because their interest and attention move beyond their physical body and family. They care for their caste, creed, and community too, but they become intolerant and rebel for other caste, creed, and communities. Next comes human man. They have much wider interest and identify themselves with their whole nation and species, and sometimes the whole mankind. They are benign to their own nationals, but turn malign to other nationals. They are superior to the previous ones. And the last one is God man. This category of man are very rare. These men radiate love, peace, joy, divinity everywhere. For them, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, all are same. They have realized their Godhead and are free from all boundaries of caste and religion. Apart from the various types of world and man given in the scriptures spiritually, basically spirituality is centered around the study of real self. And for knowing the real self, we have to understand the composition and constitution of the intrinsic world of a man or an individual, which we can see in slide 6 and 7. This slide shows the memory, ego, and self. Body we can see and touch. Breath, through breath we smell. If there is breath, we are alive. If there is no breath, we are not alive. So breath is a source of our life. Next comes mind. Mind is also very important. All the desires come in our mind, and mind has certain tendencies also, negative, positive, yes, no, etc. And next comes intellect, memory, ego, and self. Self is the last one. That is the most evolved one. We can understand these layers better in the next diagram. This diagram shows the composition and constitution of an individual. We can see in the diagram that an individual has 4 kinds of personality: physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. Physical personality is related to body and which perceives and acts accordingly. Emotional personality is related to our mind. Mind feels what is good, what is bad, what is yes, what is no, like this. And intellectual personality and spiritual personality are related to intellect. Our intellect means buddhi, that thinks what is right, what is wrong, and which contemplates in a very logical way, in an enlightened way. And the combination of body, mind, and intellect constitutes the self or Atma that we are. And the self in Atma itself is considered as God. God spells next. God spells God. God, G is generator. We can see in the diagram. G is equal to generator. That is the lower part of our body and is called Brahma Sthan. And Om is operator. That is the middle part of the body. That is called Vishnu Sthan. And D is destroyer. That is the upper part of a body. That is called Shiv Sthan, as shown in the diagram. And these three powers of generating, operating, and destroying are lying within each one of us. If we use these powers in positive way, we will become God. And if we use these powers in negative way, we will be the worst persons on this earth. So in a way, we all are moving gods. So what we have to do, we have to go within and ask ourselves who we are, what for we are here on this earth. Certainly, a divine voice will arise from within that I am everything and I am nothing too. I'm 100% and I'm 0% too. I move like a king in the world and I work like a sevak too while serving. And to conclude, uh, I would say that knowing to the true nature and range of the self and Atma, that is love, peace, joy, we shower these divine virtues on the people and society around and contribute in making this world a better place to live in. A world where no hatred or war persists, but only love, peace, and joy exist. And I think this is the main goal of a geographer too, to create a world where humanity sustains in honest form, where it promotes harmony, equality, and spirituality, to the welfare of human beings and all the creatures that we live. This is all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sunita. A very interesting presentation and totally different aspect to today's theme. Thank you very much. And without wasting any time, I now move on to the next presenter, A.K. Pathak, R.G. Jai Bhaiya. Jai Bhai.
Yes, ma'am.
Linkages of the low total factors affecting tribal development, a case study of Shankar temple area. Please go ahead.
I'm sharing the screen right now.
Sure.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So I am A.K. Pathak, and my presentation topic is establishing linkages of local factors affecting tribal
Just wait,
development.
please. Please just wait. Ma'am, there are 5 to 6 paper more and only we have 15 minutes. So please distribute the time accordingly. Thank you so much.
Yeah, actually, I had been requesting earlier also that let us focus on the three major things. One is objective, then your methodology, and the major findings. Please focus on these three aspects. And now, please, you have to restrict the time up to 4 minutes only. Just 4 minutes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, understood. So yeah, so my topic is establishing linkages of local factors affecting tribal development, a case study of Bhimashankar temple area, Maharashtra. Now, this is a part of the dissertation work which I've done in my postgrad thing. So, talking about people, peace, and prosperity, tribal locals are here. The people and their peace and prosperity depends upon their present economic, social, and political stability, with their aspiration replacing their complaints towards a sustainable future, development future. Okay, so but whenever tribal development studies uh, move in this direction to study their development process, what I have found that they usually evaluate the efficiency of policies and planning. They sort of ignore the ground level realities and phenomenologically evaluate against their preconceived notions about the tribal development. Now, this particular approach does one thing, that this get ignorant of views, perspectives, and sometimes demands of local communities. It creates a gap between policymakers and the tribal people, and this creates a vacuum of efficient inquiry, compatible and acceptable solutions. Now, my work is targeted towards filling this gap, or trying to fill this vacuum through this objective of exploring a new approach to study tribal development and establishing linkages in factors and processes affecting tribal development in my study area. So where did I practice my approach? I practiced my approach in the villages in the vicinity of Bhimashankar temple. You can see their names. Uh, okay, so this is these are some pictures which I've taken. Beautiful place, beautiful people. Okay, now how did I proceed with my thought? So methodology I employed is grounded theory methodology. In this, what we do, we talk with people through questionnaires or through interviews, through group discussions, and through observations, and repeatedly we 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 take interviews, we do group discussions. What happens is that there are few factors, there are few processes which are repeatedly mentioned in each and every interview. Now, what we do, we sideline those factors and processes, and we narrow our view, and then we also change the direction of our questions, our inquiry, so that we get the specific ideas of this repetitive factors and processes which are affecting the local level development. What we get is this conceptual flowchart, wherein you can see that with the deductive verification and data processing, the data which is coming from questionnaire surveys and interviews and group discussions, we found different factors ranging from water scarcity, incompatibility of soil, to dropouts from school and discriminatory panchayat affairs. Okay, now all these concepts are grounded in reality. That means they are coming out from what tribal people have experienced, what tribal people have told us. Okay, so what we did, we categorized these concepts into categories, and it gives us a better idea about their characteristics and nature. For example, we categorize water scarcity, uncertain yields and returns, and incompatible soil in agrarian base. So likewise, we formed categories, and those categories in turn helped us to form a theory of theory of development of that particular place. Now that this theory is not coming out of a universal notion of tribal development or something which we have learned when we were studying. This theory is coming out of the reality of that local place, and that's what my focus was. That's what my paper was. So what did I find? I find that tribal people in my study area were denied to access to natural water pools like ponds, etc., and decreasing their access to water resources. Okay, poor water management. Even if my study area lies in Western Ghats, still in summer seasons there is a water scarcity issue. Incompatible soil for paddy rice cultivation. I have reasons, but no time, so that's why I'm speeding up my explanations. Then there is high dropout rates after 8th standard. No schools in near vicinity of Bhimashankar temple. Discrimination shared local panchayat, etc. are my findings which affect the day-to-day life of the local people, and which affect the understanding of our understanding of their development. What I conclude? I conclude that uh, development, which means overall upliftment of individual, encompassing individuals' culture and tradition aspiration, was found lacking in my study area. Uh, the condition of tribal can be best expressed by the tribal themselves. We don't have to, uh, we don't have to, conceive anything or preconceive anything about the development. They are the ones who are going to tell us the reality, and we have to make policies and design plannings on what they need. So we need to fill in this gap. And also basic needs of life and sense of satisfaction was lacking in the local community of my study area. What do I suggest? I suggest that there should be efficient reflection of grounded realities in findings of development studies which geographers do. uh, Local should not be merely treated as a scale, but it also should be treated as a high priority data source or source of data. It just should not be treated as a scale, and we should not imply global perspective on local situations. Uh,
Fine.
we need to apply bottom top approach. Just 1 minute. And tribal should be given more access to their surrounding because it is a part of their identity. and there should be more trust building measures taken in order to ensure their concerns are repeated. I thank you very much for patiently listening my presentation. Thank you very much.
Dr. Meena Rata. Hello.
I think she's not there, ma'am.
Okay.
Take the next.
Okay, fine. We'll go to the next one.
Sushovna Mukherjee, are you there? Sushovna?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, Shobna, please go ahead with the topic: an analysis of childhood morbidity condition and treatment seeking behavior in West Bengal. But please wind off within three minutes, because that too will make us not comfortable with the next presentations. But just speak about these three slides that I just talked about. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Is this visible? Hello?
Hello?
Is this visible?
You are not audible.
Am I not audible?
I am not audible.
Yes, you are audible. No.
My screen is visible.
Yeah.
Sushovna?
Is visible?
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My topic is an analysis of childhood morbidity condition and treatment seeking behavior in West Bengal. And this is the objective to study the prevalence of childhood morbidity condition in West Bengal and to study the determinants of childhood morbidity and treatment seeking behavior among the children in West Bengal. This is the research methodology, and this is the all over work. This is the diagram of percentage of acute respiratory infection and treatment sought among children aged under 5 years in West Bengal 1991 to 2015. The cases of acute respiratory infection have declined over past 1.5 decades, 71.8% to 24.6%, whereas percentage of children seeking treatment has substantially increased 57.8 to 72.9%. And this is the percentage of diarrhea and treatment sought among children aged under 5 years in West Bengal 1991 to 2015. Incidence of diarrhea have increased 2.8 to 6.3%, whereas percentage of children treated has slightly declined. And this reported of ARI is found of districts of North Bengal like Jalpaiguri, Kuch Bihar, Uttar Dinajpur, Dakshin Dinajpur and Malda. In the southern part of only Howrah and South 24 Parganas have higher cases of ARI. Percentage of children sought treatment is also higher in northern districts of the states. And the cases of diarrhea are higher in 4 districts in North Bengal. Amongst the southern districts, only Kolkata, Hooghly and Purulia have higher cases of diarrhea. More than 70% of cases are treated except Darjeeling, Murshidabad, Nadia, Purur Medinipur and Hooghly districts. And this is the diagram. This is the diagram of association between household cooking fuel type and acute respiratory infection among children aged under 5 years in West Bengal 2015 to 2016. Cases of acute respiratory infection are significantly higher in household using traditional biomass for cooking purpose in Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri and Kuch Bihar. Firewood is commonly used. This might be because of easy availability of firewood in this part. In districts with dominant agricultural sector, crop reside straw, shrubs, grasses and cow dung are commonly used for cooking. And the association between the household source of drinking water and diarrhea among the children aged under 5 years in West Bengal 2015 to 16. Cases of diarrhea are higher in the household using drinking water from the tube well or borewell. And this is the cases of diarrhea are higher in household having no toilet facility, followed by household using pit latrine. And these are the background characteristics of diarrhea and acute respiratory infections in West Bengal 2015 to 16. And the percentage of children of diarrhea age 12 to 23 months is higher than other, and the birth order of first birth order children are mainly affected from diarrhea 5.8%, and the first birth order 9.65% children are affected from ARI, and 4.2% children seeking the treatment. And this is the classification of caste, and the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward class, and other classes children are affected from diarrhea and percentage of ARI. And these
Please wind off. Come to your.
okay.
There is another session after this, please. So please.
11:45.
Okay, ma'am. This is the cases of ARI is higher in West Bengal. Household biomass fuel for cooking have higher cases of ARI. Household with no latrine facility or poor facility registered more cases of diarrhea. And factors like places of residence, mother's education, age at the time of the birth, religion, caste, etc. have significant impact treatment seeking behavior of childhood morbidity. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Meeta Ratava. Now I invite upon the next speaker, Pratibha Tomar. Women Health and Prosperity, Measures of Reproductive Health Outcomes in Rural Uttar Pradesh. Please start on.
Yes, ma'am. So now due to lack of time, I'm just coming to forward. So I'm just saying that the total fertility rate of Uttar Pradesh is 2.7 and rural area is around 3.0. That is above the replacement rate. And when we look at the literacy rate is also, it's very low in the rural areas and less than 10 years of schooling. So now come to the women. When we look at the WHO guideline, there should be a recommendation of at least 24 months after the first birth of the child. But when we look at the birth interval in Uttar Pradesh, we can say that 50% of the birth in UP do not meet the WHO recommendation, and 58% of the women age group in 18 to 30 years in rural Uttar Pradesh have a child within the first 2 years of their marriage, and 29% had the child within the first year of their marriage. And the unmet need of married women among the 18 to 49 years in Uttar Pradesh is around 18%. The objective of my study is to examine the women's health prosperity associated with the reproductive health outcomes, to analyze the impact of the socio-economic factor on the lack of accessibility and affordability of reproductive health services. This is the location map where I selected the 17 villages of the Dhobi block of Jaunpur district. The central criteria of the selection that the women are the currently married, age between the 18 to 40 years old, and at least have one child, not sterilized and not neither currently pregnant and not more than 6 months postpartum. The methodology I was selected the 197 households within the 17 villages of Uttar Pradesh, where I was 173 household approach survey with the eligible women from the 17 villages of Jaipur, and I calculated the reproductive health outcome, used the use of the modern contraception, birth interval among children, and visit to healthcare centers. This is the first time. This is the focus of discussing family things. So now come to the mechanism to examine the heterogeneity by based on the socioeconomic characteristics such as the religion, education, caste, and autonomy. The respondent responses analysis based on the different factors such as the social stigma, restrictive social norms, familial disapproval, and institutional distrust. I used this data software and calculated the association between the women education and the age group and total numbers of children, family members with the association with the reproductive health outcome, then I can say this regression analysis is significantly associated Now I come to the survey results. Young women in the rural India are got married before the age of 19. On an average, are the majority live in the poor households. And the findings suggest that the women who marry early mostly belong to the poor socio-economic and demographic background and have a poor reproductive health outcome. And the gap between the children below 2 years, the currently using not using any method or using the traditional contraceptive method. The women got married above the 20 years, have a higher level of education, relatively better participation in decision making, and higher number of visits to the public health care centers. Nearly 36% when we say that the neither secure any reproductive health services, no counseling with ASHA and NM workers, and nearly 65% of the women are using the traditional method of the contraception, not using any modern method to control their birth and increase the gap between children. The traditional methods such as the rhythm method, withdrawal, and finger dose method. About 22% of women know about the modern methods of contraception and 17% currently using it, such as the condom, injectable, and PPI. The policy implications, we can say that characterize the relative importance of the women education participation in the decision-making process for policies and programs. If women have the higher level of education or say the higher awareness of the policies and programs about the sexual and reproductive health based on the intervention may be ineffective in optimally allocating limited resources and identify the central individual improvement process group to maximize reach to the various sections.
Please come to the main conclusion.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. I concluded.
Okay. Please, stop sharing your screen, please.
Next.
Yes, I now invite the next speaker, Mr. Suraj Pal. Verbal and physical victimization against men who have sex with men in India.
Okay, ma'am. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, it is.
So my topic is verbal and physical victimization against men who have sex with men in India. So I'll directly go to objective of my paper. So it is a microscopic study of subsections of the community, which is based on socioeconomic characteristics such as age, occupation, and educational level of the candidates. So I have obtained data from 300 participants. Those are gays and bisexuals from 6 metro cities of India, and those are Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Delhi, Kolkata, Lucknow, and Mumbai. So I have run a questionnaire and conducted the survey in 2019, and the data is analyzed by SPSS using bivariate and univariate logistic regressions. So these are the results where you can see that the prevalence of victimization is higher in 18 to 22 year of age. Likely there are who are gays are more victimized than the bisexuals. Bottoms and versatiles are more victimized in comparison to tops or sides. People who are out about their sexuality are more victimized in comparison to people who are not out. And people who are not married are more victimized in comparison to currently married participants. Here, education plays a determining role in prevalence of victimization, as we can see that the people who are having primary education are more victimized than people who have done PG and above. There is no big difference in religion of the candidates regarding the victimization. We can see that the victimization rate is higher as 84.1% in OBCs in comparison to other category participants. People who are engaged in pink collar jobs, like who are beauticians or work in a hotel management, they're more victimized in comparison to other collar jobs, that is white and blue. People who have lower income levels are more victimized than the people who are earning more. People who are living with male partner are more victimized, like that is 90.9% in comparison to other people who are living alone or with parents. And there are no much difference in the cities, but we can see that Kolkata is experiencing higher rate of victimization. These are the odd ratios. We can see that people who are living with male partners are 4.76 times more victimized than the people who are living with their parents. And people who belong to general category are 5 times more victimized than the people who are from general category. People who are from other job callers are 2.79 times more victimized than the people who belong from white category. People who live in Kolkata are 4 times more victimized than the people who live in Ahmedabad. This is the summary. I'll skip it speedily. This is the conclusion. Policymakers cannot afford to exclude LGBT plus community because contribution of all sections of the society is required for the development of the country. So as we say that for achieving the goals of sustainable developments, no sections of the population should be excluded, and hence LGBT should be kept in the mainstream policy making by the policymakers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Surajpal, for your presentation. And as per my list, I think this was the last presentation. Am I right? Is there any other one whose presentation has not been included?
Ma'am, I am the one to present like Bushra to be the next presenter after him.
What's your name, please?
Hello.
Hello, your name?
Bushra to be.
Okay.
Bushra to be.
Be given just 2 minutes.
Suraj, please stop sharing.
I have resumed, ma'am.
Share my screen.
Ma'am, I have resumed already.
But please give your objectives in conclusion.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay, sure.
Just
Ma'am,
your
I'm unable to share because the previous presenter has not.
Okay, you can
sharing the screen.
start. You can start
So-
speaking your objectives.
Ma'am, I cannot share my screen because the last presenter has not stopped sharing.
Wait,
So I
we
just
are
need
removing.
to
Please wait. We are reviewing this.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Share, Bushra, share your screen, please.
Is there anyone else also?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else left?
No, you have only 2 minutes.
Yeah, you just have 2 minutes.
Ma'am, is my screen visible now?
Usha, you'll be the last presenter. Please
Yes,
start.
yes, it has been started. It has been started.
Yeah.
Evidences of psycholinguistics as an emerging field in the spatial geography. This is the title of my paper, which I'm going to present. My name is Bushra Jabina, a PhD research scholar from Jamia Millia Islamia. The content, like this is what the slides contain, the literature review, and directly because of shortage of time, this paucity, I just directly go to the objectives. A short introduction, like what is the base of this research? It is to link the two different fields of psycholinguistics and spatial geography, and which is the emerging field in the geography. And if we see, language plays a very functional role in communication, whereas when it is considered in psychology, or if we see in geolinguistics, in the spatial geography, which plays also a functional role as an attribute to define the functionality of the geographical space. The use of the language as a core fuel in the subfield of psychology, and as well as it is also not feasible to define any functionality in the geographical space without the use of communication, human interaction in geographical space in relation to the environment. The research objective is basically to attempt to scrutinize the evidences of psycholinguistics as a core cultural elaboration of human space, interpreted in the rigorous term of use of English language in the geographical space, and interlinking this type of a study with
Please conclude,
psycholinguistics in the
Bushra. Please
spatial
conclude
geography.
the paper.
Okay, I come to the major findings. If we see in this, we find a very strong correlation between the use of English in expanding social network and use of English in the government and business class. If we see that we find that a very important range of risk count above 200 scale would signify that the use of English in the government and business offices is a significant geographical space, special use of the language. Again, if we see the same replica is seen in the social gathering where we see that people disagree that they should not use English as a factor for expanding the social network. If the statement was reversed just to see that the people who responded replicate to what they actually feel. Again, if we see in the cultural gathering also, we will find that English use in expanding the social network is very important, where we find that English is used in the cultural gathering interaction, which is find significant in the study. Again, if we see the final study, which shows that there is a strong correlation between the expanding social network and we should speak English in the cultural gathering, where it is found that it's inversely related with a significant level score of 0.05 level. This is a two-stage Pearson correlation statistics which has been employed with the use of SPSS. And again, we find that the same replication is shown in the use of
Please,
English in the
please
social and
conclude.
cultural gathering.
The session is over, please.
Thank
Another
you
session
so
is there.
much. Thank you
This
so
is
much.
the list of references and
We have heard you, Bushra. Thank you so much. So thank you very much, all the presenters and everybody else who has been in this session. We have had 12 papers which were presented here, and very interesting papers that talked about the health, population, ecological aspects, the humanistic aspects, the linguistic aspects, and very interesting papers which were presented on the related themes of today's theme, that was global to local sustainability and future Earth, the major the theme of the conference. And today's sub theme was people, peace, and prosperity of 21st century. I think many things have been discussed about. It would have been great had we had an opportunity of interacting with the presenters, but let us keep it for some other time. And with that, I take this opportunity of thanking the organizers for giving me this opportunity, to the Department of Geography, and also all the presenters. With that, I will not come in between the second session and this session also. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. I would like to thank you, ma'am, to co-chair the session, and Shivani, ma'am, to
Thank you.
as a moderator. Thank you so much, ma'am. There
Thank
is
you,
another
Sabia.
session. Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Sabia.
Take care, and
Bye.
thank you all the
Thank you all.
participants.